What's up, everybody? Too Good Hit, and this is gonna be a video response to darkguyver3's video about his first experience in the FGC. He went to Evo. It's been 2 weeks since Evo already. I can't believe it, man. H2O. But yeah, it's gonna be a video response. Basically, I'll put the video in the description, the link to it, and basically what happened is he had essentially a really bad experience there. He met some people. He went with some people there, a couple of people from his I guess his Facebook group, from his state or his area, and the people were dickheads. Basically, they didn't stand up to the agreements that they had, and basically they weren't being good guests at all, I guess. Like I said, link will be in the description to like a 56-minute video. But this is my response to it, my thoughts on it. I learned about it. Somebody posted it in my fighting game community group on Facebook. darkguyver, personally, first off, let me say this right now, that you did, or the people that you went with, yes, a lot of things were their fault. Like, they're not bringing the money, leaving you places, leaving you in the desert or in the water. Those things were really their fault, and that's really not good. Even more importantly, first off, let me say, it's not a representation. I know you said this already. It's not a representation of the fighting game community as a whole. The fighting game community is filled with really, really good-hearted people. I mean, they're just people all around. It's not just people that don't treat you right. There's a lot of people that actually they just really enjoy to play fighting games, and they're just people that you like to people that are fun to hang around. But first off, it sounded like this was your first tournament that you ever went to at Evo. Now, if it was me, I don't know, because I think you said you live in California or something. Personally, I think you should have went to a couple of smaller tournaments to get used to how the tournament scene works. I don't know, Alex. I don't know if it was your first tournament or not, but if it was, I think you probably should have went to a couple of smaller tournaments to get the feel of how things work, in a sense, before just going off to a really big major. And Evo is the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, so it probably wasn't the best way to start off your experience. Like I said, because I've been to like 3 local tournaments: Exit 8, Buffalo Stampede, and Act 5. Wait, Exit 8, no, Act 5, Buffalo Stampede, and Rock'em Sock'em Regionals, all in my area. If you're in California, that's they have arcades, multiple places. I don't know what game you say you play. You say Mortal Kombat 9, but you can find people to play with, and I think it's best for people to get to at least one smaller tourney before just going off right to a major. But so that's one of my first tip of advice. Not just don't jump off at just go to Evo first, because Evo is like a really, really big thing. Secondly, although you said it that your friends are supposed to provide money for you to eat, and gas money like that. Gas money I can really understand, but at the same time, it's also your responsibility to it was your responsibility to help. Like, you have to think about yourself, like if I was going on a trip, like if I go to a major for food, I want to pack a couple of sandwiches, maybe some chips, to make sure I don't, in case these guys don't go on the agreement, that okay, well, I make sure that I'm covered. And I think that's kind of where you messed up as a whole in the trip, that you were relying too much on these people. Not to say that's a bad thing, but to say you didn't really know these people that well. It probably in the best interest for you to bring a couple of snacks and water. You should have brought some more water. That's something that you should always bring. But like I said, I guess that was part of the agreement that they liked to do, was to help you eat and get back home. And then leaving you, obviously, I guess that was wrong, because it was the middle of the sun. As far as because I remember you said in the story that you went that they wouldn't let you hold their phone because in the middle of the desert, it's best for you to contact somebody. I kind of understand why they wouldn't, because like I said, just like that, just like I don't think you know them very well. I didn't think you know them very well. I think that's what you said. They also know you very well, so they could think that you would just leave with their phone. But like I said, they probably shouldn't have left you in the first place. But really, you just have to go to a major. You have to be prepared. You have to be fully prepared. And I think that's the biggest problem that you have with your whole experience, that you weren't really 100% prepared. Like, you need to, like water, food, just make sure that you're not relying on people too much, like, for necessities, Like, if there was something like, okay, I'm depending on you to, like, bring my spare ensemble buttons or spare fight stick, my spare fight stick, just in case something happens, then I can understand that. But as far as food and make sure you're fed and you're getting home, I think that's something you probably should have prepared a little bit more for. And like I said, going to the biggest fighting game tournament in the world first, if this was indeed your first tournament experience, doesn't really help. But like I said, this is not a representation of the fighting game community. We feel really good people. I'm sad to see that your experience ended in such a, or your first experience with the FGC ended in such a bad way. You said that you weren't inviting people to house for casuals. Like I said, the whole community isn't filled with those type of people. There, like I said, if your Facebook group, you just have to communicate and just get involved. Like I said, just go to some of these smaller tourneys, or local tourneys, local ran bats, and just get to know people. Like I said, you're on the Facebook group. I think they say they ban you from the Facebook group. Maybe try to get back in that group so you can know about these local tourneys, these events, these casuals at people's houses. Even if you're not inviting people to your houses, try to get in contact with them online. Try to play with them online, because you can really develop some great friends within this community. And also helps you get better as a player. That's kind of the goal of what we all want to do, is to get better. This video going to about 10 minutes so far. 6 minutes, not bad. But yeah, I'm not saying most of it was your fault. Not at all, because like there was a set agreement, I guess, and they should have followed to that agreement. And that really is bad that they did not follow through with that agreement of gas money, water, or feeding you. But at the same time, you have to be prepared for these type of situations. If you go, like I said, if you go to a major, bring some sandwiches, bring some snacks. Make sure that you're covered. This is like emergencies. Bring some water. You should always have water to begin with. You should always have a bottle of water in your backpack or something like that. But some things happen sometimes. But that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, Dark Guy, I'm sorry that you had to experience this for your first time in the FGC. Just know that this is not the community at all. Like I said, just go to some of these smaller tournaments, and then once you've gotten a feel of how once you've had some good experience with these smaller tourneys, then then you'll be more prepared to go to a local, all over the place, a major like Evo, like Seasons Beatings, NorCal regionals, SoCal regionals, things like that in nature. So yeah, just overall be prepared. And the cell phone thing, you probably should have had a cell phone too. But that's, like I said, that's the main overall message. Just be prepared when you go to these things, and just be prepared for emergencies. That's pretty much it for this video. Too good, I'm out. Peace.